let's start. Chapter 1. The Burnt Prairie. On the Great Plain of Texas, about 100 miles from the town of San Antonio, the hot sun was shining from a bright blue sky. Under the golden light appeared a few wagons covered with snow-white canvas. They were slowly moving across the prairie in the midday heat. The owner of the wagons was Woodley Poindexter, a sugar planter from Louisiana. Mr. Poindexter had lost most of his money and had left his home on the Mississippi River. He was going to a new home in Texas together with his family and black slaves. Mr. Poindexter himself was riding behind the wagons. He was a tall, thin man over 50 with a proud and severe face. He was wearing simple but rather expensive clothes and a straw hat. Two horsemen were riding beside the planter, one of them on his right, the other on the left. The first one was his son Henry, a young man of 20. He was dressed in a sky blue cotton shirt and trousers of the same material. There was a Panama hat on his head. Henry's face was open and cheerful. The other horseman was Henry's cousin, Captain Cassius Calhoun. That was his name, was an ex-officer of volunteers. He was wearing a dark blue military suit and a cap. Calhoun was 6 or 7 years older than Henry. There was also a carriage with 2 passengers. One was a young lady with the whitest skin. The other was a black girl. The young lady was the daughter of Woodley Poindexter, Louise. The black girl was your maid. Suddenly the wagon stopped. The worried manager came up to Woodley Poindexter. "What is it, Mr. Sansom?" asked the planter. "There has been a fire in the prairie. The grass has burned and the ground is black." "What of that, Josh Sansom?" asked the planter's nephew. "How stupid of you to raise such a row about the way again? Asked the planter. Yes, uncle, bad luck. We have made a couple of miles for nothing, said his nephew. He felt bad. It was his fault, said the travelers. He had been left without a real guide. The ex-captain of volunteers had been rude to their guide, and the man refused to go with them. What should we do now? Asked the planter. We may have to spend the night on the burnt prairie, and we don't have enough water for our animals. How can we find the way? No one had an answer to this question. Another 10 minutes was spent in deep moral and physical gloom. Then, suddenly the cheerfulness returned. Everyone saw a horseman who was riding in the direction of the wagons. It was a miracle. He is coming this way, isn't he? Asked the planter. Yes, father, replied Henry. The young man took his hat and waved it. He also began shouting to attract the horseman. But the stranger had already seen the wagons. He soon arrived on the spot occupied by the planter and his companions. He was a handsome young man of not more than 25, with a noble and very friendly face. He was dressed in a picturesque Mexican costume, a short velveteen jacket, trousers laced along the seams, and leather boots with spurs. On his head he had a black sombrero decorated with gold. A Mexican, whispered Henry. So much the better, replied Poindexter in the same tone of voice. You will be more likely to know the road. No, said the stranger with a protesting smile. Anything but that. Have you lost the way? We have, sir, said Poindexter, and we hope you will be so kind as to direct us. No much kindness in that. By chance I saw your trail as I was crossing the prairie. I saw you were in the wrong direction. I have come to set you right. It's very good of you. We shall be most thankful, sir. My name is Poindexter, Woodley Poindexter of Louisiana. I bought a house on the Leona River near Fort Inch. I hope this is right. Inch. We hope to get there before night. Can we do this? Yes, if you follow my instructions. I'm sorry, Mr. Poindexter, I cannot stay. I need to get a very important document to the fort. Go straight forward for about 5 miles. Always keep the sun on your right shoulders. You will then